Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Agabatoni. Today I'm going to be presenting to you a topic called business intelligence. Business intelligence is a very wide topic and defined by very many researchers. However, it can be easily put down as business intelligence is about delivering reliable information to the right people at the right time with the aim of making or providing the right improved decision making in a business. Now we are talking about the benefits of business intelligence. One of them is improved decision making. In this way, we see that business intelligence will provide accurate and timely and relevant information to make decisions, enabling them to make informed and data-driven decisions. After gathering a lot of data, you are the owner of the business now makes decisions according to the data, not to the personal feelings. So you find that, for example, if one had a physical shop and an online shop, and the online shop is working best, working properly in terms of the sales. For example, the sales are maybe 80% online, and the physical one is only bringing sales 20%. From there, you can easily decide that through such and such a method, according to the data I have, I will drop the physical shop and then remain with the online shop. Then the other benefit we have is data in the data warehouse can be modelized and analyzed to make the organization more competitive. In this way, where the data warehouse is where almost all the data, both internal and external, is gathered. So after analyzing that data, for example, Nike and Adidas, for example, if Adidas and my competitor is Nike, and according to the environment around, we find that Adidas is now Nike is making more profits in terms of let's say woodies, the jumpers, because it's so cold. There is need for that, but then my business, which is Adidas, is not providing. So after getting that, I'll look at my competitor is doing this. I can easily adopt, and then also maybe modernize on that. So the other point we also have is the data in the warehouses are collected over time and used for comparisons, as I was saying, and then to get the trends, and then also forecast. In this way, for example, you may find that if I'm in a business of, let's say, phones, right now you may find the phones on market all have an issue of battery. The battery life is not that good. But then if I enter into that business, I will be able to forecast that in future, since people have an issue of a small battery life, I can now increase on the capacity of the batteries of the phones. So if I have a smartphone, but then it will take you like 2 days to charge, beating the other competitors who always produce, let's say, phones, and they take, let me say, almost half a day and cannot finish. So that helps us to forecast which product do we need to offer, and where do we improve. Then the other thing is also improved customer satisfaction. And in this way, after knowing what my clients need, according to the data, the reviews they put maybe online on my platform, and then also I can easily understand that maybe in such and such a time, people would want such and such a product. For example, if it's a season of World Cup, I will know that if I'm in a business of jerseys, I'll probably bestocking the country jerseys, not the club jerseys. Yes, so that helps us to get customer satisfaction properly. Now we are talking about business evolution, business business intelligence evolution. In this way, we saw that it began in the early, in the late mid, in the mid 1960s, and this way we see during this time, BI tools were primarily focusing on data storage and retrieval. The mainframe computers were used to store large amounts of data, and basic reporting capabilities were developed. We see this was mainly storing data and retrieval. Then in the late 1990s, we also came the emergence of data warehousing technologies, where these were able to gather data from different sources and consolidate them in one place. So this enabled at least a foundation of reporting and analyzing, hence helping on businesses to perform multiple analysis and drill down into data. Then after that, we also saw in the early 2000s where that the rise of self-service tools developed. These tools empowered business users to access and analyze data without relying on the IT departments. So earlier on, people used to rely on the IT departments on what they have, and which would limit them because it wasn't easy for them to go to multiple places to get different sources of data. But then in the early 2000s, we see that at least reports were being compiled, data presentation was brought to a consideration, hence making it more easy, not relying on the IT departments. Then we also look at the other stage, which was in the 2010s. Big data became a prominent focus in business intelligence. The increasing volume of velocity and variety of data led to development of new technologies and frameworks to handle the process of large data assets. Additionally, yes, we saw that big data came in 2010s. Big data became the big deal because it had a lot of information coming from various sources, and then it led to the development of new technologies and frameworks to handle process and then process at least large data sets. Additionally, advanced techniques were used. This made it so easy that decisions were made by data-driven facts. So one wouldn't make decisions based on their individual basis. Then I think we also have in the 2020s to present, you see now the combining of both AI, the emerging technologies with BI. So this has enabled everything easy in terms of analysis. For example, you can easily now go on your AI tool and prompt it to give you analysis on different analysis and reports on different information, which is making it more simpler. We have different working stages of business intelligence. For example, we start with the first stage, which is data collection, and this is a process of where the type of data is determined and allocated. So in this way, we go to the field, let's say getting to the field, collecting a lot of data, and then after collecting it, you determine which type of data is this collected, and then after collecting it, you go to the second stage, which is after collecting it. The second stage, which is organizing. You have to organize the data in order to ease the analysis process, because if you have for example different types of data stored in different places. For example, if we are talking of let's say age, and then say sex, they are stored differently in that way. So we find that it makes it very easy for the next stage, which is called the analysis of the organized data. Now after organizing that data, we shall come and then analyze. How do we analyze? For example, we may find out, we may say we are analyzing the average of the let me say the average of the age bracket of people we have who use, for example, a given product. So if you have that average, that's you've analyzed and then gotten the average. Then after that, we shall have now to share the data which has been analyzed. Now after sharing the data, for example, with the right person who wants to use the data, then it will also help lead us to a given stage, which is called the controlling the data to provide management support to the organization. Now here, after sharing the data you've brought in, then after now we have to see on how to control the data. For example, how does it suit our objectives of the business? So in this way, we find that collecting the data to provide management support to the organization. Yes, different stages of business architecture, and in this way we see this is metadata. This is also referred to as data of data. For example, if you're providing a file, for example, if you have a Microsoft Word file, so what's the data of that file? This is seen in various forms as applied to different data, including let's say documents, databases, websites. For example, what are the description of the characteristics of properties of data? It can include information such as the title, author, date released, the data format, the size, the keywords, and also the associated document or file. So that's what we call that's the first stage, which I call data of data, which is mainly known as metadata. Then the second stage we have is data source. When you talk of data source, you're asking yourself, after having that data, after having the metadata, then when we talk about data source, we talk about what's the origin of that data, its location. It can be any system or database or file application that holds the data to be collected or analyzed. In this way, we see that it can be integrated into a large data format. Data sources can be internal or external. For example, you can have the internal ones. You may have your data source as data coming from the human resource office about let me say the entity. Then the external ones, you can also have different data coming from different places. For example, the other businesses outside your internal business. You can get data outside other businesses. Then the other stage we also have is data management. How do we now manage that data after knowing its source? Then how do we manage it? For example, I think in most cases here is when data mining is done. reporting. You can sit down and then analyze that data. Those are all other ways of managing the data. Then the other thing is about after managing the data, now we have a way of also storing the data after analyzing it. For example, after making reports about that data, then you have now to store it. Where do you store now the data? The data mainly can be stored in data warehouses, or it can also be stored in the data marts. Different organizations have different ways of storing the data. Then after storing the data, for example, after getting our data, we see now on how do we analyze the data. You've stored it, then how do you analyze the data? I think this will be seen in most cases, how to transform the analysis and then interpret it in different ways. How do you analyze the data? I think reporting, you can start by reporting after. For example, you may say, I'm providing a report. This is a report I'm getting, let me say, from such and such a district, from our branch in such and such a district. It has been doing business in a given way. These are the numbers. This is how the profits have been. This is how different demands of different products are. And then we also have another stage which is called now the business tools and its features. Now different tools, we shall see different tools. For example, the different tools we have there. We have the Microsoft Power BI. In this way, these tools help in analyzing the data and then forming different features. For example, you find you have tools which can analyze data into different graphs. Let me say into different tabulas, then also among others. So that's the final stage of business architecture. Then after that, I think we can now I got to explain about 5 to 6 of them, and then we have the Zoho analytic tool, the Senses, then Microsoft Power AI, the SAP Business Objects Business Intelligence. Then the other one we have DataFin, then Tabula, among others. So I think we shall start with the Tabula. The Tabula is a business intelligence system that helps the companies to visualize the business reports. For example, as shown here with the different. Now this is their interface. This is defined as a BI system that helps companies to visualize the business reports. So you can see it now. You can easily report. For example, here we are seeing the home appliances, and then the amount they cost. So we have total cost and then the sales amount. So you find that this helps you to easily report how your business is working. We have the promotion, the channel, and the year. Then we also have we see what's one of the advantage of using now this the key advantage of this interface, this BI system. It helps generate reports through visualization and easy to understand. Here is called DataFin, which is a visual software and a BI tool coiled into a single unit. This is what they call it. This is how it looks. I think the database is a bit easy, not congested, and it looks good. Then the benefits of DataFin, it helps organizations to understand their data much effectively. I think I would prefer this. It has as well. It's one of its benefits is used for business intelligence self-service. With it automatically brings the KPIs, which are the key performance indicators, and then online reporting platforms, and then other business metrics. It's more of mathematics, so it's very easy. And then it brings key data, key performance indicators. Then the other thing is Zoha streamlines data gathering, empowers visualization of dashboards, and simplifies the creation of the charts, different charts, as seen. Very easy. Microsoft Power AI is a tool for integrating knowledge into the business. Microsoft Power AI sends information for nearly by databases, storage sources, and then cloud information sources and